Hello out there. By golly, we're on the air. Beautiful day here today, folks. By golly, we made it. Somehow, some way. Welcome, everybody. Happy Thursday. Cheers to you. I think we're live. It's not showing anybody in the YouTube yet, but we could be lagging. I see some chats here. We'll see. Anyways, welcome to the Daily Bitcoin Journey. This show focuses on actionable and logical discussion for Bitcoiners and for future Bitcoiners. It is Thursday. It is the end of August. Zapstream is not working today, it looks like. Is anything working? It's still showing 0 people on YouTube, but there's comments coming in from YouTube. Anyways, we'll just see what happens there, I guess. So, good morning, everybody. This one's titled Buying Land in Cyberspace with Bitcoin. And this one today is going to be focused. We're going to talk about a couple different ways to get Bitcoin. Not like to buy it, where to buy it, but how to be thinking about it. Because sailors called this the Bitcoin gold rush between today and 2035. And in 2035, that's when I think 99% of the Bitcoin will have been mined. We're already at 95. So it's not like there's a whole lot left between then and now. But I want to talk about a couple different things here today. A little bit off. I had a very long day yesterday, another long day yesterday, and I got another long one in front of me today. So tomorrow might be a battle, but I wanted to show up today because that's what we do. So anyways, we got Killer here, Killer 76. We got Samantha Nakamoto. We got Ginger on both platforms today. Love that. Good morning, Ginger. Sketchcation says Jorah's late because he wanted to sink a hole-in-one on the fairway to financial freedom. I guess. Wasn't really late though. I think this is the earliest I've been for a while. On time, I mean. Jake, good morning. All need coffee. Me too, man. I'm going through it right now. I'm going through it, but I'm hoping that you guys and girls can bring me to life. Holy, words are hard today. This might be a tough one. Had a very long day, a lot of sun, and not a whole lot of sleep yesterday. So, but we're here. We're here because if nothing else, we got a couple things to talk about, and then we'll be on our way today. So, anyways, good morning. Smoke too much. Joshua says comment and like only. See all on Noster? It doesn't look like Noster's working. It doesn't look like the Noster's working today. Sats and Sunsets is here. Good morning. We are live. Frumble's here. Good morning, Letha. Great to see you, Letha. Frumble. Joshua, morning, Rumblers. Maybe staying put here. Hey, yeah, that's what it looks like. I'm trying to find to see. It's not connected, so I don't think it's streaming there. But anyways, we got Rumble. Rumble's a very close second to our Zap streams. All right, we got 25 people over in Rumble. That's awesome. Love that. Double or triple the amount of people on YouTube. That's the kind of stuff we want to see. So what I'm going to do today is I've been thinking about this a little bit. Obviously, being on the road yesterday, I had a lot of time to think, which is sometimes dangerous. But I want to bring this up because we got to update this a little bit. This is our leaderboard. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to add a little caveat here. So the winners will be chosen by way of random draw. And how I'm going to do this is basically, I know it's going to be a lot of work, but that's okay. Wow. Can't speak or type today. So instead of having like the top 5 win, it's going to be a draw. And each point is going to be a ticket in the draw. I don't know if I'm going to do physical tickets or probably do it online. It seems like an easier play. But anyways, here's what happened yesterday. So it was actually Bad Gal B who sent in the 9999, which was what Scotty had done twice already that day. So that was pretty fair for me to assume that it was Scotty, but it was actually Bad Gal B. So we're going to give her a point, and we're actually not going to deduct one from Scotty because Scotty told me this. So honesty, this leaderboard is subjective. I'm going to be handing out random points for random things, basically for being a good person and supporting the channel. But Scotty was, he said, I shouldn't have got 3 tickets there. I actually only sent in 2. The other one was Bad Gal B. But we're going to reward his honesty and we're going to leave his point on the board. And what we're going to do today I'm going to do these different random challenges throughout. So August 28th, so these have been subjectively based on like 10,000 sats-ish for support. You get 1 point. But today, all rants, fiat zaps will earn 1 point, regardless of what it is. So it could be $1, could be $2, could be anything, but you're going to get 1 point for all the fiat zaps over on Rumble. So that's the challenge for today. And we're going to do this maybe once a week. We'll do a different challenge whenever I remember, but that's the challenge for today. So we're going to give the Rumblers, we're going to show some support to our peeps over on Rumble. Paulie says, morning soldiers, the bankrupting of Canada continues. Stack hard. No doubt. No frickin' doubt. Yeah, where's Arnie today? Where the hell is he? Arnie saw some deer on the road today. I don't know if you saw that picture on Noster or not, but it was pretty good pick. Pretty good pick. Morrow. Good morning, Morrow. Good morning, good people. Ian, clean your machine. Good to see you, my friend. CB Van, smash the thumbs up. That's right. Duncan's here. Working but listening. All right. Checking in. Everybody's checking in. Morrow says 2.1K Bitcoin. How'd you get that in there? Is that a Bitcoin logo? It looks kind of different, but anyways. So today, did I even share that post? I don't know if I did. Jeez Louise. I'm out of it today. You guys are going to have to give me a little bit of slack. Cut me a bit of slack today. I had a post, and now I don't even know where it is. The post that I actually wanted to base the whole show around, I don't know where it is. Frick sakes. I probably would have copied the link. We'll see. We're going to try this out. We got one link here in the email or in the clipboard. I usually save the links and then send them via email so I can open them up. And today we only had one. So I'm hoping this is it. I'm hoping. We'll see. All right. There we go. Josh has a different one there, though. Josh has the B. How do you do that? John Chess. Good morning, my friend. Good to see you. Good morning indeed. Cypher Sats. Good morning, Bitcoin family. Jordy, did you get my email? Probably. Have I replied to it? Obviously not. I'm sucky at email right now. I just have so much shit on the go right now, but it should change. Like once summer's done here, probably within the next 2 weeks, I'm going to have nothing to do for like 8 months during wintertime. So I'm going to catch up on all my emails then. So if you send me an email and I haven't replied yet, don't take it personally. It's just, I just don't have the hours in the day right now. Simple as that. Which is shitty, I know, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to enjoy the summer here a little bit, because we don't have very long here in the prairies. All right, I found it. We're back. Ate too much ice cream yesterday. Sound like Joe Biden. Ice cream guy. Kev Keith made it to class on time. It's a glorious morning, says the Bitcoin nurse. Amen to that. It is a beautiful morning here today. I was tired as all hell, but I shot out of bed like a cannon. You know why? Because we don't have many days here. It'd be an interesting experiment. If you took your, actually, I've heard of people doing this before. But if you took your age right now, so let's use me for an example. let's say I'm 30 some years old and I expect to live for another, based on life expectancy, which we know about life expectancy. It could be short, it could be long. But either way, you could take that and you could take, say my life expectancy is 80. 80 years minus how many I've lived so far times the number of days. And you had like an Excel spreadsheet and you showed all your, each cell was a day that you had left in your life. And every morning you woke up and you put an X on one of the boxes. I think that'd be a really good way to just remind yourself every single day that, we are going to die. And each day it shouldn't be taken for granted. You shouldn't waste any days, waste any time. I mean, you're going to have bad days. I've had a couple bad days as of late, but like for the most part, you want to squeeze as much as you possibly can out of each scarce unit there. And it ties really well into Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoiners understand that more than anybody. And part of what I want to demonstrate today is the value of each single Satoshi. And the fact that you can buy 10 sats for 1 cent today is a blessing. And so maybe I'll start with that, actually. Maybe I'll start with that because we did a Maple Bitcoin video the other day and something happened with it. The audio just did not work. So we filmed a 25-minute really good video with Maple Bitcoin and the audio is just dog shit. So I can't even share it. It's unshareable, I think. I might clip some parts, make it shorter because nobody's going to spend 30 minutes listening to audio with that. So I don't know what happened. But anyways, one of the points I brought up within that video was this. Do you know what this is? You know what that number is? It's a little bit different than days left, but it's the same kind of thing. It's scarce and it's true scarcity. Because with Bitcoin, it's one thing. With Bitcoin, we know exactly how much there will ever be, but it still kind of changes because some people have lost their Bitcoin and some people are locked out of their Bitcoin and we'll never really know the exact amount of available Satoshis, but this is the maximum. And so if you did the same kind of experiment with the days you have left in your life, it might be a little on the low end. It might be a little on the high end, but the point is there's still an ending to it. It's still, you cannot just create more days like you can in fiat. You can't just create more days. So that's where Bitcoin and life itself time itself tie really well together. But this number here is the exact amount of Satoshis that will ever exist. I mean, it says that right above it. So you should have known what the number is. The exact number of Satoshis that will ever exist is that number. And so kind of how I explained it, and maybe I'll bring up a Word document here. There we go. Let's try this. I'm going to have to delete this after. But let's say that you had $1,000 right now. You had $1,000 and you wanted to buy some Bitcoin. So you'll probably get about 1 million sats out of that. And what was that number we just had there? 2099. Is it 5 nines there? 5 nines. 997,690. 000. Okay, so if you had $1,000 in fiat and you decide you're going to buy some Bitcoin with it, this would be your percentage of the network. I know it's going to be small. I know that. But let's try to, oh man, this is a little bit different than the usual Excel formatted as a percentage. How do I get more digits? Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's not actually that bad. So this is the maximum amount of Bitcoin that will ever exist, the maximum amount of Satoshis that will ever exist. And I like looking at it this way because when you see 21 million, it just kind of looks like a number, like a word almost. 21 million. You think of it more as like a word. But when you see it like this, in this form, Let me see if I can put a comma on here. There we go. So this is the maximum amount of satoshis that will ever exist. And I really like using this. So it's basically 2.1 quadrillion satoshis. But I like looking at it like this because it just shows you every sat that you get is a percentage of ownership within that network. And that is the maximum of sats that will ever exist. And so your percentage, as long as you keep that million sats safe, your percentage of the ownership of the network, and essentially when I say network, I mean like the global wealth, because what Bitcoin's going to do is it's going to remeasure everything. It's going to reprice everything. So everything will be measured in satoshis. And again, I don't know how long this takes to play out. Could be decades, could be centuries. I doubt it, but that's the reality of it. So eventually everything's going to be priced in sats. And when you have a million sats, you have this percentage of ownership, and that will never go down as long as you protect the sats that you have. The million sats will never go down. On the flip side, if you had $1,000, $1,000, how do I show this as number? Actually, can we show that as a currency? I need like an AI here. Format as a currency. There we go. And how many dollars exist right now? I actually looked this up this morning. So I have it here. Approximately how many dollars exist in the M2 money supply today? So there's 22. Where is that? 22 trillion, essentially. 22 trillion. 2212. And then 123, 123. Is that trillion? It'll be a little bit less than the other one here. So stick with me here. I know that this is that 22 trillion? No, I think that's 22 billion. 1, 2, 3. I think that's 22 trillion. So your percentage of this network then is, stick with me here. Stick with me. It's hard to do this stuff live. I don't know if that's right or not. Anyways, the point isn't the percentages here. That's not what I'm trying to demonstrate. I'm not trying to show how much of the network you'll own with $1,000. That's not the point here. The point is that every single day they add how much? 3 billion, I think. That was the number that they gave me. This is from Perplexity. So it says every day, $3 billion is added to the total US money supply, including both digital and physical dollars. So 3 billion every day. So this is kind of like you had $1,000. One option, you bought Bitcoin. So that's 1 million sats divided by 2.1 quadrillion sats. And if you decide to leave it in fiat, $1,000 divided by 22 trillion. But here's the thing. Here's the part that I want to illustrate here. So when we add in one day, so every day they add approximately 3 plus 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's one day. Your percentage point went down one day. And then we add another the next day. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Didn't move. But I bet if we do it again, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So every single day, your percentage, your ownership of the global economy goes down just by holding fiat. It goes down every day. Like, I don't think there's a better way to illustrate the power of saving your wealth in Bitcoin than something like this. And I've never seen anybody like really demonstrate it this way before. And maybe I haven't seen enough Bitcoin stuff, but I find that hard to believe. But like when you conceptualize it this way, Every single day that you're holding dollars, your ownership of that network of the economy is going down without you doing anything. You're not adding to it. You're not taking away from it. You're just getting poorer by holding that currency. On the flip side, you have this million sats. This is actually only going to go up because of these sats. Some of these are going to be lost. Some of them are going to be burned forever. And so the only direction that this number goes up, your percentage of that network, this number will only go up. It cannot go down unless you lose it. And that's a really powerful thought experiment when you're trying to explain what Bitcoin's value prop is to your friends and family and coworkers and anybody out there. Just demonstrate this. Demonstrate the difference of a currency with a fixed supply versus one that has an unlimited supply. And that's 3 days. So your percentage point went down 2 points in 3 days. And so I bet if I played this out over like 10 years, it would be mind-blowing to see that you just holding that $1,000, maybe you have $1,000 bill and you keep it under your bed. By doing nothing, everything out of your control, you are getting poorer and poorer every single day. And so when you think about earning Bitcoin and accumulating Bitcoin, this is what you want to think about. There's only this amount of sats that will ever exist. And the more that you get, the more that you accumulate, the higher your percentage is going to be of that ownership of the network. And your ownership will never go down. So when we're thinking about it that way, this is kind of where we are right now. For this next decade, the Bitcoin gold rush here, this is when you really want to be accumulating, because at some point here, today we can buy 10 sats for 1 cent. But at some point in the near future here, you're going to be able to buy one sat for 1 cent. And then you're going to be able to buy 1 sat for 2 cents. And it's just going to keep going like that for this reason, because one of these is scarce, fixed, cannot create more. And one of these goes up forever. And that 3 billion is probably going to turn into 4 billion. 1 trillion every 100 days. Okay, so let's even do that. Every 100 days. Wow. 100 days. Okay, so this is 3 billion. So if we add 3 zeros to this, and we turn that into a 1. So yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Duncan. That's probably a better way to do it. So every 100 days, let's see what the impact of the money printer has on your $1,000 bill. Wow. And then in another 100 days after that. Wow. That is, that's something. So 200 days there, look how much you lost versus holding it in Bitcoin where nothing changed. This percentage actually probably went up because again, coins are lost every day, or sats are lost every day, and sats are burned every day. And you can do that. You can send and people do this to, I don't know the exact reason. I can't think of it on the top of my head of why people would burn sats, but it's definitely been done before. You can send Bitcoin to a burn address to prove that it's gone. And I think there's been some of that with like government seizure, I believe. That might have been one reason why they do it. But the point is that this number, your percentage of the network, will only go up. It cannot go down. It cannot go down, holding the exact same amount. But you see here, after a year here, pretty much, or yeah, let's do 400 days. That is crazy. So you see there, 3828. So after 1 year, let's get rid of this. After 1 year, 4521. After 1 year here, 2, 3, 4, 4521 to 3828. You did nothing. You did nothing in your your ownership of the network, your value, your wealth went down that much, and it did not change in Bitcoin. In fact, it probably went up. So again, when you're talking about this stuff to your friends and family, this is a really simple and effective way to visualize and conceptualize the power of holding your wealth in a fixed currency. And we've never had anything like this before. Nothing like this in human history has existed before. And so we're 16 years into this. We're in the Bitcoin gold rush. And this was the post that inspired. So there's the number again. It's a little bit less than 21 million exactly, but that's the number of satoshis that will ever exist. And so every time you get a sat, whether it's 1 sat, 10 cents, or 10 sats, a million sats, you have a fixed percentage of ownership of this network. But here's the post. This is from Few BTC over on Noster. And it says, not sure who needs to hear this, but mining fiat in a day job to invest into Bitcoin is a completely legitimate method of becoming a Bitcoiner. Imagine yourself potentially retired in 2035. There are no guarantees, but learning from those who have previously traveled this path you're on is prudent. Not investment advice. Dollar cost average Bitcoin equals Zen in 10. And I'm pretty sure we did a show about that, or a clip the other day where we talked about a 10-year plan within Bitcoin. Yeah, I think that was yesterday. We just shared it. So good timing here. And I do spend a lot of time here on the show talking about AI and technology and robots replacing humans, replacing jobs. But and I talk about the power of having your own business and the only way to build real wealth, or it was anyways. And that's kind of another point of this too. Another point here is that before Bitcoin, the only way to get wealthy was to actually own your own business, own equity in a business. That's the only way that you could get wealthy. You never get wealthy by renting out your time in a job before Bitcoin. And that's why I find it so interesting when you're thinking about this stuff and you're reading quotes from like old philosophers and even recent quotes, which were applicable in the fiat system, the only system that we ever knew. But everything looks different from a Bitcoin lens. Bitcoin flips everything on its head, including stuff like this. So yes, in the fiat system, the only way to get wealthy was to create a business, to have equity in a business. Never got rich from renting out your time. Never got wealthy. You get rich. Doctors are rich. Lawyers are rich. But you never get wealthy unless you have equity in a business. Like if you're a doctor and you have your own practice, or you're a lawyer and you have your own law firm, that was the way to get wealthy in the fiat system. But that's changed because we have Bitcoin now. And so you can actually go to a fiat day job, mine fiat, as we call it. And if you give yourself a 10-year runway and all the excess that you have, maybe you've, cut back on a few things. Bitcoiners' habits, spending habits change naturally, I think, when you get into Bitcoin. You just see things differently. But you take all of the money that you make from your day job, you put any excess into Bitcoin, you give yourself 10 years, and you are going to be wealthy. This was not something that was possible before Bitcoin. So again, I kind of talk about all the time on the show is starting your own business, adding value to the world. But you can also add a lot of value to a fiat job. You really can. And as long as it's something that you're enjoying, the flip side of this is like going to a job that you absolutely hate every day and like it's sucking the soul out of your body. That's different. But if you're actually enjoying what you're doing and you're saving your profits, your take home in Bitcoin, you're actually going to do very well in this new world. So this is kind of me going back a little bit on what I've been talking about a little bit, but I see it differently now. Because I'm still under the opinion that in the fiat system, the only way to get wealthy is to own a business, own equity. Because you have maximum risk there, maximum risk that you could lose everything, but you have no upside. But in Bitcoin, that changes. You could actually become wealthy by working a job, just by saving in Bitcoin. So I wanted to start there. I want to talk about a few different things here going forward. I'm way behind in chats and everything, but wow. Okay. Missed a few here. So our Zap stream's not working today, so this wallet's out of commission. But Duncan did send in a DCA today, and it is significantly less than yesterday, which means that the price must have gone up. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to actually not delete that spreadsheet. I think that's going to be useful in the future. Okay, so it is August 28th today. Wow, August 28th. So Duncan, our man, sent in 26.55. This is the DCA, the dollar coffee average. So thank you, Duncan, for that. And it is up significantly from a couple days ago. So the price of Bitcoin is up. This is $3 worth of fiat in the form of sats. So thank you, Duncan. Thank you, my man, Duncan. And it looks like we got some super chats or some fiat zaps over here in Rumble. So we got, let's see how we're doing here. We got 43 people. We got 20 likes. And one of them is me. But anyways, we got a couple people to add here. So Letha sent one. Josh sent one. Luxter's stealing your thunder. Lucky had to go to the vet yesterday, actually. He had ear mites or whoa, what's going on here? Need to get out of this. Okay. Sats and Sunset also sent in $10. Wow. Orange one. That's a nice one to get. $10. Wow. Thank you, Sats and Sunsets. Samantha. Thank you, Samantha. Duncan and Cypher Sats. Look at that. Absolute fucking legends. Okay, so we have Cypher, Duncan. Let's bring this up here. Cypher gets one. Duncan gets one. I'm going to give Duncan another one too, because he's been probably the most consistent. Well, one of the most consistent supporters of the channel. So I'm going to give Duncan an extra one. Again, this is subjective. There are no cut and dry rules with this. We had Samantha gave one. We had Letha. We had Sats and Sunsets. Gave one. And I think, was the other one Todd? Josh. Josh gets another. All right, so that actually worked out. I didn't have to rearrange anything there. Wow. All right, thank you. And Praetorian. All right, we'll count this. We said on Rumble, but we'll count that for sure. We can't discriminate. Praetorian. Thank you, Praetorian. The star of Sat Chats the other day, all the way from Illinois. Thank you, Praetorian. Thank you, everybody. Very, very much appreciated. All right, what do we got here? What else did I miss? Wow, I missed a lot on that little rant. Adam's here. Good morning, Adam. Bitcoin 444. Scotty boy. CB Van, I can't find it. Jay's here. Good morning, Jay. Praetorian. Taki. Todd says I'm late, but I'm here. It's okay, Todd. Good morning. Good to see you, man. Buck 52 says, is Bitcoin the free market or the currency of a free market? Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good thought. What if I told you it was both? What if we told you it was both? Because when you're learning about Bitcoin, one of the things that you need to know right off the hop, and it took me a while to learn this myself, but the average person kind of lumps Bitcoin into one thing, as if Bitcoin's one thing. But in reality, Bitcoin is actually the network, the currency, and the ledger. The network, the currency, the ledger. So I would argue that Bitcoin as the network is the free market. And there's a couple different components within the network too. There's like the economic network, there's the social network, and then the currency is the currency. And then the ledger is what tracks everything in a very transparent and open way for anybody to audit. And in fact, the Bitcoin ledger, the Bitcoin network gets audited every 10 minutes. That's what it does. Every time there's a new block, that new ledger gets broadcast out to every single person around the world who's running a Bitcoin node. And so it audits itself and makes sure that all the transactions are valid. And once that block is mined, it's there forever. And it's viewable by everybody. So I would say that it's both a free market and the currency of a free market. I think that percentage is 42 million if you use 900 trillion for total wealth. Yeah, for total wealth, Scotty, but I'm talking about currency. So I used, what was the number I used there? 22 trillion. That's the number that they tell us anyways. And that's another difference there that should be, let's bring this back up because that's actually a great point from Scotty in a roundabout way. But important note here, we have no way to verify 22.12 trillion. So even though we think that this is the number, like what is it, the denominator? Even though we think the denominator is 22.12 trillion, it might actually be more than that. I'm guessing if they tell us it's 22 trillion, it's probably 88 trillion because they lie about everything. So why would they lie about everything but tell the truth about how many dollars exist? So either way, like Scotty, I get your point here. Either way, this number doesn't matter. The point of this is that this number is going to go up forever. It's going up every single day. And your ownership of that network is going to go, because this is going up every day and this isn't changing. This is just, your percentage of ownership is just going to keep going down and down and down. So that's why this $1,000 becomes worth less and less and less. It's why it buys you less things, because there's more dollars and your percentage of the network of the economy goes down. Good point there, Scotty. Josh says, I say the currency of a free market. As the market for only Bitcoin accepted payments for goods will continue to evolve, my beef guy only accepts Lightning for his meat. Wow. I need to meet that meat guy. You got to love having a Bitcoin loving meat man, no doubt. He has a few red Angus cows and will scale accordingly if he gets more customers. This guy's completely green light. You might have to put me in touch with him, Josh. Maybe we can expand his network, get him a few more red Angus cows. Let's chat, man. That's an interesting. There's not many Canadians. I know there's a lot of American ranchers who are accepting Bitcoin, but I haven't found many Canadians yet. But actually drove by a red Angus ranch yesterday. Hadn't seen red Angus before. It's kind of weird. The fact that I drove past that yesterday and saw there's black Angus cows everywhere here, but I saw the sign for red Angus cows and I was like, red Angus cows. I've never heard of that before. Are the cows red? But then today, like, this is maybe proof Daniel will like this. I don't know if Daniel's here or not, but Daniel will like this. This is just more proof that we're in a simulation, or at least maybe because I saw that yesterday, it means more to me today. I don't know, but kind of weird. The fact that I hadn't thought about a red Angus cow for maybe my entire life, and then back-to-back days shows up in the YouTube chat. It's kind of crazy. On that note, you guys should have saw what happened to me yesterday. I actually wanted to tell the story at the start of the show today, but I forgot. But yesterday, so we were filming our third round of Bitcoin Golf Tour Season 2. All these videos are going to be available on the 88 Sats radio channel for you guys to watch me struggle on a golf course. But anyways, yesterday, so there's two of us, me and my buddy, and we go out there, we film. Sometimes we have like a camera person that helps speed things up. Otherwise, we're like hitting a shot, swapping the camera to the other guy, hitting a shot. So it takes time. And so we try to go out during the day when it's like, open. There's not a whole lot of tee times there because you don't want to piss people off on the golf course. But anyways, that didn't last very long yesterday. We're on hole 6. There was people behind us. I hate, especially like in a circumstance like that, I hate making people wait. And so we actually let 2 groups through on the same tee box. And there was more groups behind. So we're like, whatever, we'll let these 2 go and then we'll keep going. Because we're not going to fucking sit here for the whole day and just keep letting people through. So anyways, the next guy, he hits up on us, drives up. The ball's like 10 feet behind us. And he's like, oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. I'm like, yeah, okay. So we go another hole. And then the next tee box, he comes just flying up. Like we're literally on the tee box for like 30 seconds. So I knew right away that this guy was like not happy, in a rush, and just like was doing anything to get through. So I was like, yeah, go ahead. Like I was in a kind of a shitty mood, and I'm like, go ahead. And he's like, maybe the next documentary you guys make, you should do it on golf etiquette. In other words, you shouldn't be. So we're like, what do you mean? He's like, you shouldn't be filming on a golf course. I'm like, well, we're making this for the golf course. We're trying to show people, if they want to come to this golf course we're playing, we want to put a video on YouTube so people can watch and see what the course is like and promote this beautiful golf course you have here. And so we're kind of arguing back and forth. Anyways, he comes flying out of the cart, and my buddy is putting his clubs away still. And so he's kind of at the back of our golf cart. And this guy comes flying. He's with his wife. He's golfing by himself. His wife's sitting there with him. She's kind of withdrawn from it, but he's like fired up. He's hot. And so he comes flying out of his golf cart. Him and Drake are literally face to face. The guy was going to punch Drake in the face, I thought. And Drake didn't even move. The guy was pretty big. But Drake's like, what are you doing, man? Like the guy was probably 60 years old. And he was going to hit Drake because he thought we were playing too slow. And we just let him through. So we're like, fuck you, man. We're not. So we're like, never mind. We're just going to keep going. So we didn't let him through. And we drive up to the green, and he just comes flying, drives by us, goes to the next hole. I'm like, whatever. Like, really, man? Really? 30 degrees, end of August. Beautiful day on the golf course. There's hardly any wind, anything. Perfect day. And you're trying to like start fights and finish this round as fast as you possibly can. I get pace of play. Like you don't want to be waiting too long, but like just fucking enjoy yourself, man. Like, what are you rushing home to? You're clearly very unhappy in your life. So I don't know where you're rushing off to, but this seems like a pretty peaceful place for you here. So that's what we had to go through yesterday. We didn't get it on film. I was going to pull out my camera, but I'm like, I don't want to like pour gas on the fire here. So we said, okay, we're just going to keep going. And then he drove past us. So what a loser. Absolute loser. I called him the dipshit of the century, I think, later in the video. But man, what a situation. Smiling Snow Squirrel. Welcome. Praetorian says, Jor, I have a hypothetical for you. What if everyone in the Bitcoin network decided together to burn 5% of each of an individual stack? I mean, hypothetically, I don't know why anybody would want to do that. What would be the point? If everybody burned 5%, nothing would change. What would be the point of that, I guess, would be my question. What if everyone in the Bitcoin network decided together to burn 5% of each individual stack? I mean, it could happen. Obviously, you'd have to propose it. It'd be a hard fork because you'd have to change the supply. Or I don't know how that would work. But I just don't see why anybody would want that. I don't see, I guess, the why. Like, what would be the point of that? Diego, good morning. CB Van says, given your life for a currency that formulates your own demise. Yeah, exactly. Fiat, inflationary 2%, length of career equals 0. Yeah, if people could just do math, they'd figure out pretty quickly that you shouldn't spend a day holding fiat. That's why it's like, that's why, I made the decision that I wanted to live in Bitcoin. I didn't want to just take 50% of my income every month or $50 worth of my income and put into Bitcoin. No, every time I get dollars, I convert them into Bitcoin because I don't want to spend one single day. There's no days where they're not printing money. So there's no days where whatever fiat that you're holding right now isn't losing its value. It's a stupid decision, in my opinion. If you understand Bitcoin and fiat and the differences, and a fixed asset versus an unlimited asset, you shouldn't hold any fiat any days, in my opinion. And you might say, well, Jor, I need to live. I need to pay my expenses in fiat. Okay, well, there's a lot of tools that exist today where you could just store it in Bitcoin. You can easily convert it to fiat when you need it. That's what I do. I keep Bitcoin in my ShakePay wallet. And then when I need to buy something, I just convert it from Bitcoin to dollars, tap my phone, and pay for whatever I need. So there's really no reason to hold any fiat. And there's things like Bitcoin Well, I think Strike. I'm not sure if River has it. I don't think River has that. But bill pay. So you can basically set up your payees like you do in your online banking, whether it's your Visa. That's what Jack Mallers does. And I think that's a really good strategy, actually, where basically what you do is you don't hold any fiat. And you use your credit card to pay for things. So you don't have to change anything. Most people pay with their credit cards anyways. But instead of holding your dollars in fiat and making that payment from your bank account, because you've lost a lot. Anytime that you're holding fiat in your bank account, you're losing money. From what we demonstrated earlier in the show. Every day. There's no days where you'd be immune from that. So instead of holding it in the bank and making those payments through your bank, you just hold it in Bitcoin. And when you need to, you convert it to fiat and you pay your bill. That is roughly a 16% drop over 400 days. That is fucking crazy, man. 16%. All right, sorry, I've been bad with the zaps here. I just don't have a whole lot of time today, so I don't want to waste your time announcing zaps. But I did see that somebody sent in 2658. I don't know who that was from. Maybe Scotty? Maybe Scotty boy? And it looks like Paulie D sent in 2,222 sats from Arnie, or from Daisy to Arnie, chasing rabbits. Arnie was looking at deer today, chasing rabbits. Thank you, Paulie. Roa ducks. Roa ducks from Paulie D. All right, something else just came in. Whoa, that's a fatty. That's a fat ass. All right, I got some more to report here as well. We got 2,100. I don't know who that was from. Hopefully somebody in the comments will share. 8,888. Don't know who that was from either. 3737. That looks like a Todd zap. Thank you, Todd. And 500. I'm guessing that was, who sent in 500 yesterday? Praetorian. Either Praetorian or Buck 52. That would be my guess. All right. So whoever sent those 8,000 ones, please let me know. And thank you. God, those help a lot. That's my favorite zap, I think. So thank you for that very much. BTC Pleb says, do you plan on using Ledin? I do. Bitcoin 44 Adam says, Bitcoiners are like gearheads. They see everything in car parts. We see spending in lost sats. Yeah, true. Very true. Mixed picks. Good morning. Santino. Ricky Bobby. Rants are going off. Yes. Oh, that was Scotty. All right. Thank you, Scotty. My man. DCA sent from Scotty boy. And we got another one from Todd. So Todd gets on the board. And Scotty gets a DCA here. So that was 26, what? 26.58. No, so Duncan holds it down today. Looks like the price has gone down a little bit. Scotty boy. Scotty Too Hottie. Thank you, fellas. Much appreciate. Mucho. Look at this. Blunt Man says, what's up, Jor? You've inspired me. I'm out scooping poop for sats right now. Wow. That is awesome, man. That is awesome. And so let's go back here. We got to add one to Todd for the rant today. And Todd has officially passed Gray. Sorry, Gray. I'm sure you'll be back soon. There we go. All right. Okay. It was Bob, Buck 50. Thank you, my friend. And Todd. Yep. Gotcha. I knew it. Bluntman says, I'm out scooping poop for sats right now. So Bluntman, I want to share this, but I keep forgetting. But Bluntman's been going through the 365 days of Bitcoin course. And he said in Jerry's chat, I think the other day, that he's going through it for a second time. And he said the second time around, he's going through it with a notepad. So 365 days of Bitcoin, that's a video every day. The videos are about 10 to 15 minutes long. And you think that'd be a pretty big task for somebody. But Bluntman's actually going through it twice. So best way to join that if you want to. It's going to be available in the school community, which isn't set up yet. But if you do want to go through the 365 days of Bitcoin course, you can actually join the Living the Future still. So that's, if you want to do it today, you can join using this link. If you want to do it in the future, you can join the new school, because all the episodes are going to be on there on the new school. But they're all on there on the Patreon right now, which I just shared the link for. I'm also looking. What are you looking for? Lauren's here. Good morning, Lauren. BTC Pleb says the thing with golf is the people playing are usually douchey. Yeah, it's a fair point. Probably one of the douchier sports for people wise anyways. Although every sport has kind of douchies in it, I would say. Like, find a sport that doesn't have douches in it. And everybody has a different like definition of a douche. Like, I'm sure a lot of people would say that hockey players are douchebags. But like, for me, that's all my buddies. So I'm obviously going to disagree with that. But I get from, like, you know, everybody has a different lens. So for some people, hockey players would be. For me, soccer players, basketball players. It's not that I, think less of them or anything. I just think that they're douchey. So yeah, fair point. Maybe he should. That's what I said. I'm like, man, you're telling us about etiquette, and you're literally trying to fight people on the golf course. This isn't a hockey rink, dude, or a UFC match. Like, the hypocrisy there, telling people about etiquette and then trying to fight people. Like, what? Yeah, boomer behavior. That's exactly what it was, honestly. Like, if you envisioned, I didn't think that stuff ever happened in real life. I thought that was only something that happened on the internet. But yeah, it was like a male version of Karen. That's exactly what happened. And it wasn't even alcohol, man. This was like at 1:00 in the afternoon. He was golfing by himself with his wife. This was not, I don't think alcohol was involved with this. Golf golf with the wife to ruin golf. Sure, he's upset. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty wild. I've never been part of that on the golf course before. He's probably still pissed today. Yeah, he's probably he is just a dipshit overall. Bad Gal B, good morning. Bad Gal B, I mentioned you at the start of the show today. I ended up giving you an extra point yesterday because I didn't realize that big zap was from you. So thank you for that. Josh says, same with the Oasis concert I was at. Lots of people that are there, but the booze hits and they're throwing cups of piss in the air on everyone. Yeah. Why I wear a bucket hat to the lads from Manchester. People are just wild in general, man. Whenever you get too far out in the wild, you're going to be running some dummies. What was that? I just heard a knock. ASDS, air swinging dipshit. Yes, exactly. People get worked up over the dumbest shit. Wife probably pissed in his coffee. Yeah, Cedar Sats. This is exactly what I was thinking too. It's like, I kind of get it. I just feel like the average person right now is kind of that guy. And it's not even his fault, but definitely a fiat guy. That angry golfer sounds like a fiat guy that hates his life, possibly his wife too. His wife was actually decent looking, all things considered. But yeah, just the fiat mentality, man. Like, that's what a lot of people are going through right now. Imagine being like 60 years old and you work for 40 years and you have nothing to show for it. And the savings that you have is just melting away every day. what you thought would be a 40-year retirement where you could spend in the Bahamas, you're spending in buttfuck Saskatchewan, and these two dipshits in front of you are filming themselves golf, I'd be kind of mad too. So, I mean, it's frustrating. Like, people are frustrated right now, and I don't blame them. It's just society right now. Everybody's going through the exact same thing. And that's why I've been saying Bitcoin is a solution to a problem that 8 billion people have. This isn't a small problem. Every single person on this planet suffers from fiat debasement. So yeah, I get it. Crypto Princess, still the dipshit of the year though. Or did I say century? One of the two. Crypto Princess is here. Good morning. Burning so you can be like other coins. We have no reason to do this. We have enough people accidentally burning coins. Yes, very true. Hey, Noah's here. Good morning, Noah. Hi, Jor. That's what I do as well. No fiat, just credit. It makes sense, doesn't it? It makes sense. Those are Canadian farmers. Who? I don't think I'm too far behind. I don't know what we're talking about here. Bad Gal B. All right, that was Bad Gal B. And I'm guessing, Josh, if you want to confirm this, I'm pretty sure the other zap there was from you. So we got to add another one here for Bad Gal B. She passed the Scotty boy. I kind of like this. I kind of like a little bit of friendly competition here. Bad Gal B, thank you very much. Oh, there it is, Josh. All right. Josh moves up as well. I kind of like it. So this is going to go on for a while. But I think it's going to be fun to track. Majo says, Jor, I really like you and your content. You seem like a genuinely nice, grounded, honest guy. Stay just the way you are. Keep hodling on. Wow, thank you. That's a very nice, that's as meaningful to me as a zap. Thank you. The guy behind us did not agree yesterday, but I appreciate that. You know, and the other thing too, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like you're, dive into this too much, but it's like, you have to. This is episode 375. We've done 375 live streams, and I don't really have a choice other than being genuine. I'm not saying I'm nice or grounded, or, I mean, it's hard. It's also hard to lie for that long, but definitely genuine. I think that that's the one thing that I will say, because the reason I'm genuine is because I don't have a choice. There's nowhere to hide here. You do a show every day for 375 shows. If you're not being yourself, people are gonna catch on to that pretty quickly. So I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. McJake says, I find people get fired up quickly on the golf course. Not sure why, but it's been my experience. He was probably shooting a gem of a round two. No, he wasn't. He definitely was not. He was probably the worst golfer on the golf course, because whenever you're like trying to finish golf as fast as you can, what's even the reason for being there? Like, yeah, a 6 or 7 hour round is tough because you're kind of waiting between shots, but like, where would you rather be for 6 or 7 hours than a golf course? So I'm never in a rush out there. I don't like waiting too much, but I'm never in a rush. Hate rushing. Matt, good morning. Samantha says there's a fight between two older men in Florida. Cops had to show up on a golf course. There's been a lot of fights on the golf course lately. I don't know if this is like a new trend, but yeah, I've never even heard of people fighting on a golf course until like 5 years ago. And I really do think that this has some sort of tie to fiat. I really believe that. I think that people overall are just very stressed out, more emotional, and just like on tilt. And I really believe that fiat is the main driver of that. They don't realize that. This guy might think, he's taking it out on us, but really what he's mad at is the system. Play enough golf, you will see it. Well, that's the thing, Scotty. Like, I play quite a bit of golf, and I've never had somebody try to fight me on the golf course before. You think you'd be better behaved with her present. Yeah. And she was kind of like you could tell that she obviously had to take his side with things, but man, I don't think she was very impressed. Yeah, exactly. He was trying to impress his wife at your expense and ended up embarrassing himself. It's exactly what happened. Could have been a Caspa guy and recognized you. No, if anything, this guy would have been XRPer. I could see this guy just, definitely left side of the bell curve, fall for anything kind of guy. Definitely a guy who showed up for 40 years at the same job. Hated it, hated every moment of it. And now that he's retired, he's losing every day. I'd be mad too. Yeah, no, his Zapstream's not working today. It told me pretty quickly that says we're having trouble streaming to your destination. And I don't think I'm on his sats either. I just topped it up the other day. So it must be down. Bad Gal B says, I think people are close to their limits these days. Everyone is testy. Yeah, that's what I mean. Sabian says, personally, I hate golf. It's in the prissy realm. That's just me, though. I like martial arts. To each their own, of course. Yeah, to each their own. That's right. I'm not going to sit here. To me, it's just like how I think about golf is you get 5 or 6 hours. No, usually not that long, but between warm up, beers afterwards. Let's say you get 6 hours. Usually with people you like, friends, family members. You get to spend 6 hours with people that you like. You get to do it outside in the sunshine. So you get some vitamin D. You can drink beers. You can smoke cigars. You can do whatever you want to. And you're driving around on these little mini vehicles. So the golf itself is really tough. Golf is very, very mentally challenging. Physically, not so much, but very mentally challenging. But just the overall experience of it is hanging out with your friends, being in the sunshine, drinking beers, and driving around on 4 wheels. And the flip side is too, when you're walking out there, there's not many things for me anyways that are more zen than walking a golf course. Carrying your clubs, walking a golf course. It is high end. We got 50 people on Rumble today. Wow. 26 likes. That's piss poor. But I missed another rant here. Todd sent in $2. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Todd, my man. So Todd moves up another one. Passes Scotty Boy as well. Who's going to pull away here? That's the question. Who's going to pull away? Because we're all pretty much pretty even right now. So that was the challenge of the day. All rants, fiat zaps will earn a point. Challenge of the day. We're going to try to do that maybe once a week. All right, let me double check here. I saw Cedar Sats was in the chat. Cedar Sats, I know I mentioned it on the show, but I don't think you were here yesterday, but I very much appreciate the big zaps you sent in the other day. You took the zap crown. Oh, who's going to take it today? That's the question. Who's going to take it today? Because we only have 1 day left in August here. Do we? Or is Monday the 31st? Monday is the 1st. So tomorrow is the last day of the Zap King or Queen. We got a queen in the running. Letha is in the running. Oh yeah, I saw a big one here. So somebody sent in 375 and somebody sent in 8998. Who was that? Oh, there we go. Cypher. 8998. I'm officially claiming this as my signature zap. Damn. That's a fat signature zap, man. You're up there with Josh and Letha for the 8888 Cypher. Wow. We got a lot to calculate here today. A lot of moving parts. Thank you. Thank you, Cypher. That's very, very, very much appreciated here. And to whoever sent in the 375 as well. Thank you. All right. What else do we have here? VHF's here. Good morning, VHF. BTC Pleb says we need more organic golf courses. The ones here are sprayed pretty heavy. I feel sick afterwards. I know. I agree with you, man. And that's a whole nother rabbit hole, I think. But So I saw this study recently that said if you live within 1 mile of a golf course, you have like 50% higher chances of developing Parkinson's disease because of the chemicals, because of the fertilizers. And I'm like really close. A mile would be a joke compared to how close I am to a golf course. So I don't love that per se because I mean the winds kind of blow the fertilizer around and spread it, and you breathe it in. So I don't love that, and it's something I need to like really think about here. But the other thing too is like the golf course here has historically been fairly organic. There's just one guy who's been working here for probably 30 years. Big shout out to Dwayne. But maybe even more than 30 years. As long as I've been a kid, he's been the groundskeeper here. But I've noticed this year the course is very green. And I mentioned that to him the other day. I said, because I go out and golf, I'll play a couple holes myself just when I have an hour to spare. And he's always out there. So we chat for a while. And I said, the course is really green this year. He said, yeah, I've been using a little more fertilizer around the greens or a different kind or something like that. And I was like, oh, man. I didn't say it to him, but it's like, I like how green it is, but I hate that. So it's like, I don't know. It's a tough trade-off, but I definitely agree with you. All right. So we got 2,500 sats here from our guy, Ian. Just came through the horn here. Thank you, Ian, my man. Okay, and we should check Arnie Boy's wallet here as well. Even though he's not here today, some people might summon him. Somebody sent a zap to Arnie last week and summoned him. Whoa, what's this? We got wow. 21,000 sats. And the note says, glad you didn't get beat up for golfing slow. 21,000 sats. Who the hell was that? I don't want to assume here, but I did see Cedar Sats in the chat. Okay, we'll keep going. Wow, that's the winner of today so far, the Zap King. Okay, we're gonna end with that because we're coming down to the final day tomorrow, and we're gonna see who's in the running here for the Zap King of the month, who is gonna get a nice Maple Bitcoin T-shirt or a hoodie, whatever they want, hoodie or a T-shirt. We're seeing the fallout from a worldwide lockdown, and we'll continue to see the negative effects for years. We have no idea the impact. You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. Yeah, $1.52. This is what I'm talking about. There was a study recently that people that lived around golf courses do have higher instances of, it was Alzheimer's. I thought it was Parkinson's. Either way. Scotty. Yes, little friendly competition. That's right. Cedar Sats, no problem, buddy. Just glad to hear you didn't get beat up on the tee blocks. Yeah, that was Cedar Sats. Cedar Sats. Wow. Okay, so let's bring this up. Cedar Sats are going to be in the running for, oh, my ear's popping. Why? We're going to give Cedar Sats 3 for that one. Oh, 8. Going to give him 3 for that one because the baseline there is kind of 888. But, well, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt here because he sent some fatties in the other day too. So Cedar Sats, the undisputed leader right now. All right, VHF, yes. Sats and Sunset says 375, the usual POW zap for the Jor chain. Thank you, Sats and Sunsets. That's true. I never even thought of that. This is episode 375. Lucky you didn't swing your purse at him. Yeah, you're right. 21K, there it is. Cedar Sats. You got some hoodies, though. I think you'd like a T-shirt, man. I think you'd like some T-shirt. If you end up getting it, we got a close race right now. All right, the comments aren't coming up here. There it is. Todd. Sheesh. Okay. I gotta go. Right effing now. RFN. But does Cedar Sats want to spend sats at the hard assets? That's a good question. I think Cedar Sats and I would have a couple beers at the hard assets. Or what did Cedar Sats call it the other day? I forget. I saw an email with it, but I forget what he called it. Spreading sats? No. I'll find it. I'll bring it up. Last 5 blocks mine in 5 minutes. Nice. Love that. All right. Let's see who's in the running here for the Sat King. So yesterday we had Samantha was the winner. I didn't see any come in after hours that top that. Today we have 21,000 so far as Cedar. Could be outdone still later today. So what do we have here? This is the official leaderboard for August. We got Cedar Sats has 1. Cedar Sats has 2 and potentially 3. Letha has 1, 2, 3. Todd has 1, 2. And I hope I'm not missing anybody else there. Samantha. So right now we got a tie at the top with Letha and Cedar Sats. Todd also has a chance to sneak in there. But I shouldn't say that because this one's not locked in yet. So Letha has 3, Cedar has 2, and Todd has 2 right now. And tomorrow we will crown the Zap King or Queen of the month. And big shout out to Josh for the winner of July. So what the heck is going on here? All right, I guess I'm just going to be, oh, there we go. I thought I was going to be mini for the rest of the show. All right. Cypher says, any poker fans here? What if we use sats as chips for the buy-in? What? For poker? Yeah, that's a good idea. I don't play poker, though. I'm not patient enough. I got too much ADHD to play poker. All right. So I think we're going to wrap her up there. I got a big day in store today. I got, this is kind of our last day of golf for the summer today. Sad. So we're in the semifinals right now on the B side. And if we win our first match this afternoon, then we play tonight. If we lose our match, then we're done for the year. Either way, we're done for the year. So today is the last day of golf season that's been happening for the last 15 weeks here. So kind of a sad day, bittersweet. We do a wind up at the end of the year, which will be in a couple weeks from now. So I'll miss that Friday show. But yeah, it's a hot day here too today. So I'm going to need some water. I'm going to need some beers. Letha has 4. Does she? No, I think you're looking at July there, Noah. I think Noah had one in July too. I'll verify this though. We had 1, 2, 3. Noah. You trying to outsmart me or make me look like a fool? All right. That's what I got for you today, folks. Thank you for being here. Is there anything else I wanted to mention? I was going to stop at about 9:15 today, so we're about 32 minutes over our budget. Didn't even get to finish my coffee today. Oh, this is the one thing that since we're already late, why not just keep going? This was the other thing that I wanted to share with you guys and girls today, because I just discovered it the other day. So one of the things that I did want to talk about today was Nostr. So I actually just came across this a couple days ago, because when everybody when they hear me say Nostr, or hear somebody else talk about Nostr, first thing they do is probably Google it, and they wind up at nostr.com. That's not where you want to go. It actually was a good resource for a while, but if you have a MacBook, you could actually download this app. This is an application. This isn't a website. This is an application, which is called Nostr. So if you have a MacBook or an iPhone, which I'm thinking most people here do, sign up using Nostr, Nostur. You can find it in the App Store. And you can either try a guest account, where you just kind of sniff things out a little bit here. You can find people on there. Or you can actually, how do I go back there now? Let me try. I'm going to close it. and then open it up again. But the other thing you can do here is you can just create your own. Oh shit! Now I don't know how to. Now I don't know how to get out of it. I trapped myself. Yeah, I don't know what to do now. I'm thinking I could go like this: profile, log out. Okay, so yeah, logging out as a guest. That wasn't too bad. So then you just go to new account, create a new account, put your name in. You can put anything there, and then you have an NPub. You have an NPub and an NSEC, and you want to write down your NPub. Well, you don't have to write them down, but copy and paste your NPub and your NSEC into like a notes app like Evernote or a Obsidian. And then that's your new login. So you could actually take that NPub and NSEC and you could log into like Domus after, you could log into Primal, you could log into Amethyst, you could log into anything. But I kind of like this idea of using Nostr to kind of generate your keys. So if you're somebody who's kind of been on the fence about Nostr and not really sure where to start, I like this idea here. So you just download Nostr, it's called, from the App Store, and then you can create an account and you can use that key pair to sign into any different Nostr app. That's a cool thing about Nostr. You can't do that on like Facebook, take your login information, log into YouTube. But with Nostr, you can take your key pair, just like Bitcoin, your public key, your private key, and you can sign into any Nostr app with that. And you're going to have the exact same thing. All your posts will be there. Whoever you're following is going to be there. Everybody who's following you is going to be there. But I like Nostr here as kind of like the first step. This is where I'm going to be sending people now. So the app called Nostr, and you generate your own key pair from this. So that's what I got. That's what I got for you today. And actually, one thing before we go here, hide, is wow, I'm so late. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Why do I do it? It's like I enjoy the torture. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do here right before we go is I'm going to add another one here to Todd, because Todd sent in 7474 and 3737. So Todd moves up a spot. So that's it. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here today. I'm going to be back here tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm probably going to be in just as bad shape, if not worse. But that's okay. You guys don't care. Or you might. But if you did, you just wouldn't show up anyway. So anyways, we're going to be back here tomorrow. We got the Maple Bitcoin live show tomorrow. Consider joining the Patreon there if you want to be a member of Living in the Future. And it's going to pour over to school here in the next couple months. So that's a good place to start if you want to start watching some of the 365 Days of Bitcoin or the other courses available on there. You can join that. And that's it. So have an amazing day, everybody. I very much appreciate every single one of you for the support, the fiat zaps, the real zaps, the comments, the love. It means the world to me. So thanks again for being here. And we will be right back here first thing tomorrow morning. Sorry, I missed a couple comments at the end here, but I'm late. So we'll talk to everybody tomorrow. Thanks again. And have the best day of your life today. You get to choose that. That's the cool thing about it. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.